Hey, what's going on, everyone? Just gonna bring up a topic that I am seeing run rampant everywhere in the forums. I keep having players write me off to the side asking this question: should I mix up my drones? And so, boy, okay, where do we start with this? And again, I'm not a drone specialist. I am not a wing fighter master in any way, shape, or form, guys. I'm just going to make sure that that's very clear right out the gate. I'm not here to sway anybody into my ideology, but I'm here to can we put can we put this pen to paper and prove it and show. So again, I'm not really big into the numbers. I'm not really big into 100 different people saying 100 different things without really showing proof. We've all know that the numbers change all the time. Wing Fighter's always changing something. I've been able to prove that some of the numbers you'll never be able to prove or haven't been proven. So I'm not really big into that side of it. I'm more into, can we see a difference? Is there an increase or decrease? And really, for me, that's kind of what the channel's based upon. Is, can we figure this out a different way, and can we say it a different way? And so you can see I'm starting out with no drones. And another question that keeps coming up, even though I have shown this in some of my other drone videos in the beginning, is the question of that one is can we see an increase to our weapons, or weapons more powerful by adding the drones? And the answer to that one, flat out, I'll just tell you, is yes. And so I like using Planet Wars here on the reason being is we can strip this down. I can take a look at myself, and you can see my HP, and I'm just going to abbreviate this just a little bit. HP is 345, main gun attack is 148, wing gun attack is 154, missile attack is 160. So when I go back and arm my drones, am I going to see an increase to all of that? And so we'll arm the burning drones here. And so right here also, guys, your attack now, my attack is 22,000 rounded. HP is 135,000 by arming those. Now look what happened to basically my base level here. My base level shot way, way up. And I'm going to use this ideology again, and I'm going to say it out loud again. So for me, this is kind of like putting on a Superman Halloween costume. And did this really make me more powerful? Am I Superman now that I just put my drones on? And the answer is no. And so I keep seeing this a lot, and it's happened to me where lower level players are beating bigger level players. And why? We got our drones. We were a couple 100,000 more than these other players. For an example, why am I getting beat? And so the bottom line is, I think a lot of players have forgot that your pilots and your gems are absolutely crucial to who's going to win. Recoils are really cool. There is a little factor into that, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, the bottom line to this is the ones with the better pilot, the better technology, and the better gym setups, they're going to win. And so that lower level player that didn't invest into a whole bunch of the drones, maybe like you did, and they're beating you, well, that's why they're beating you. Is it's the pilots, gyms, and technology. So I just want to make sure that that's clear with you guys. Don't put on this Superman Halloween costume and trample around thinking that you are bigger and better than everybody else, because that's not how this game works at all. And so I went ahead and put on those drones, and I just wanted to, just make sure that that was really clear with you guys. You can see the attack rate go up. You can go into your attributes, and what's weird is I caught this in the last video. When you go into the attributes here, your attack is actually even more than what it says on the front page there, and your HP. And I think when you arm your drones especially of the same kind, that you get a little bit more of a boost there, is what I take from this. I don't know exactly how to prove all that or where that number's showing us why we're getting that, but just a little tidbit from me to you. But here's another way that you can check it. And then, of course, go back to Planet Wars and let's check it again. So HP, look at this, guys. 491, main gun attack 173, wing gun attack 178, and missile attack 185. And so, did that increase my weapons? And absolutely, that was huge, and including the HP. So yes, arming your drones is incredibly useful to pumping up your weapons. Absolutely. So, and then so it comes back now again, guys. Mix match, mix match. So in the beginning of when the drones first came out, we're all testing them out and trying to figure it out. And early in the stages, I was mix matching because I was getting a higher, it looked like higher base level and attack and this and that. And when I looked at basically going to the combinations, because I didn't have them pumped up, the percentage to me mix and matching didn't make sense to me. So I was like, oh yeah, let's mix and match. Let's mix and match. I was okay with that at first. So now that I've gotten some of my recoils and my burnings especially pumped up, let me point this out real quick, guys. So when you go into the combination and you're using the 3 drones, you do get a bonus. So drone attack for me on the burning is 10.4%. Drone HP is plus 10.4%. And so at this stage of the game, for me, this stage of the game, not the beginning, um, do I want to lose that 10.4% to mix match? Absolutely not. For me, no. At this point, that doesn't really make sense right now. And so we're going to dig into this a little bit, but I just want to point that out. So there's one strike for me on mixing the drones right there out of the gate. So I just want to point that out. Okay. So I'm going to do something a little bit here, because what are the recoils? What are we doing with the recoils? What are the recoils really made for? And that's player versus player. So why am I going to my technology? And I'm going to round this into the mix match of the drones, believe it or not. So, and I'm going to throw you guys a little bonus here into how I'm setting up my Planet Wars and Star Scramble. So what are we playing against, guys? Players. Reduce damage from aerial enemies, including players. Absolutely, you want that maxed out. Of course you do. And so damage increase damage against aerial enemies, including players. That's a no-brainer. We want to max that out. And so down here at the bottom here, increase armor base. You want to max that out. And then throw the rest on your criticals, on your missiles, and to your main gun. And if you're a new player, medium player, just try to disperse your technology into what this looks like. But guys, we're playing against players. It's sitting here right in front of our faces. This is the technology that I use, and am pretty successful with it, and pretty happy with it. Now, if I went to go play Titan or Legion boss or a mission with this, I would absolutely lose points. So why am I bringing that up? The way you set up your technology and the way you set up your drones is crucial to what you're trying to accomplish with Titan, Legion boss, Planet Wars. It's all segregated. And I know some of you don't want to spend diamonds, and that's fine. Give you another example. Is there a general technology? Some will say yes, and I'm going to say no, for the simple fact, if you're trying to maximize, you're trying to get the high score on Legion boss, you're trying to get the high score on Titan, they're going to be different technologies, guys. Just plain and simple. You can use a rounded technology, but are you maximizing your game playing and your points that you're getting from this? And the answer is no. And so, um, if I go to my setup, and I'm going to round this back to the drones and why I'm telling you guys this. And so, my first setup is for Planet Wars. That is a different technology. My second setup is for Titan ground. My third setup is for aerial Legion boss only. And my fourth setup is for ground Legion boss only. And all my technology is different for each one of those. Okay? And so, why am I using technology as that example going back to the drones? Well, what are the drones, guys? Again, recoil does what? It's for player versus player. What are the benefits to recoil against player versus player? Um, a couple. One is, what does recoil do to the player? It bounces their attacks back at them. Okay, so say it again, guys. It bounces their attacks back at them, drone wise. Other benefit to the recoils is, especially the recoils, is the stackability. And if you read in one of them, what does stacking mean? What does that mean? So in some cases, it says you can stack 9 times. So what the heck does that mean? So an example would be each drone has their basically, let's go to the drones, and each drone has their active skills and their attributes. And so stacking means, for example, let me see if I can go to another drone here. And okay, I'm on my burning drones versus my recoil, but here would be stacking to a degree here, guys. Okay, and this is perfect. And if you guys see, I do put shields on my burning drones. Because believe it or not, you do not have to have a recoil in order to get the benefit of the shield. And if you go into the shields, what does it say? When receive fatal damage, there's an 8% chance to avoid death and restore 10% max HP. And you can use it how many times? One time. So if some of these drones are saying, right here it even says, this can be stacked up to 9 layers. Okay. And so let's say I have two shields, but let's say I have 3 shields. But I put 3 shields on each one of my burning drones. That could possibly be stacked 9 times now. And what that stack means is within 5 seconds, I can have the probability of 9 shields working in 5 seconds. Basically is kind of what that's saying. So your stacking means how many times you can use that during combat, basically, or how many times you can use that. So that's a great example of stacking, is your shields. And especially with the recoils, let's just say you have 3 shields, 3 shields, 3 shields, and the other guy's really powerful and he's pounding on you. And let's say you get that 9 stack and you get all 9 of those shields to give you your health benefits back. And that's huge. That's super huge. So when you mix and match your drones, you have to be very careful that you're doing it right. You need to make sure that those drones are compatible with each other to being able to stack, because some of them aren't. And if you're using drones that aren't stacking, you're already losing a lot of power. You're losing a lot of opportunity. You're losing a lot of chance to getting that drone to use the stacks, basically. So you have to be really careful on that mixing for one there. So there's strike 2 for me on mixing the drones. And the other thing is, okay, guys, I'm going to just bring it out. Why did I show you my technology and I have different technology setups? Okay. Why did I show you that? And I told you I'd bring it back to the drones, in my opinion here. So what are the recoils? Again, they're for player versus player. Okay. So now I'm not saying that the burning drone and the electrical are not against player versus player, because they are. Again, you can stack your shields and you can do some pretty cool stuff with the burning in the electrical. And the electrical would be for what, guys? Energy, energy ships and different things like that. And what are the burning drones for? Physical. So of course they can be used for planet wars. And depending on the ship that somebody's using, you might want to use the electrical for one. You might want to use basically your burning drone for the other. So can you use them in planet wars? Yes. But why am I bringing this up like this? Recoil would probably be the smart way to go. Just period. I think most of us know that at this point. And the recoil is doing what again? It is firing back your artillery back at you. So we got to think about this for a second now that I said it that way. So if you're trying to make these drones absolutely enormously powerful in attack, and somebody else has 3 powerful recoil drones, what is your attack doing to you when it recoils? Yeah, exactly, guys. It's killing you. It's hurting you. And so, is it the smartest thing to have a huge attack power from a recoil? Say that slow out loud to yourselves, guys. Okay? So, would it be smart now to put a burning drone with 2 recoils in Planet Wars against a player if the potential of that burning drone is actually hurting you? So that might be a strike 3 for me on the mix match. That might be strike 3. It just might be. Again, what are they doing? And so going back to my technology, why did you use technology in different setups? So for me, burning drone and electrical work really well for me in the Titan Challenge missions, Legion bosses. But I'm going to burst your guys' bubble here a little bit, okay, for the ones that mix and match. Okay, you ready? So you do get an attack out of your recoil, but it is very low versus your burning drone and your electricals. So if your recoils are really low and you're really hardly not seeing that in Titan and Legion boss and your missions, why would you use 2 recoils and a burning drone versus using 3 burning drones that are going to give you a higher probability of a higher score? So if those recoils aren't really working against the Legion boss and the mission and the Titan, is it so smart to mix and match those recoils with a burning or an electrical? Is it smart to mix 2 burning drones with 1 recoil if that recoil is really not doing anything on the missions or the Titans? Well, that might be another strike for me right there. So right there, there's several strikes of mix and matching for me right there alone, guys. Several. And so hopefully that's kind of opening up your eyes a little bit to looking at this differently versus somebody saying, oh no, you need to mix this. Oh no, you need to mix that. The other thing that I keep hearing is Pavo is not important. Why would you say that? Do you have the testing to prove that? Have you really read what Pavo says? Let me see here, guys. Let me see here. Sorry here, guys. There we go. Pavo. Now, I even have some mentors here, guys. I have mentors that I lean on, and I have some really incredibly smart and great players. They do understand the mechanics. They are a little bit more into the numbers, and I do lean on a couple of really good players in the game, and I've even asked them about Pavo. And what's ironic about this is even these really, really, really smart and good players, even they say this: we don't exactly know what that means. So for anybody going around saying, hey, Pavo's not important, but yet nobody knows exactly what the clause in here means, you know what that means to me personally? That this is probably one of the best drones. Just maybe. So, and I'll give you what I am talking about towards the end here. And towards the end here, it says stack up to 3 layers for 5 seconds. Additionally, increase 10% recoil proportion and apply enhanced recoil to your fighter and the rest of the combat. I mean, come on. Really? So this is not the most important, and I see a ton of players say that. And for me, this right here is probably the biggest backbone to the recoils because of what it just said. It is giving massive power and probability to your stacks. And so this could probably be one of the most important ones out of the recoil. And so others are saying, Gruss, best defense, and Apis for the healing. And so I'm going to take the healing drone because I believe in the healing drone. And I'm going to take, for example, Fornax, the burning drone. That's the best burning drone. And, again, guys, pending on your setup, depending on where your levels are within these drones, just because somebody says this one, what if your other drone's more powerful? Well, don't you think you should use that drone if you're going to mix and match in the meantime? So there's a lot of just questionable stuff that's going on with this mix match and what other players are telling other players, insisting that this is true. And there's just a lot of crazy stuff. But I mean, you guys can read this yourself. I mean, even some of the smartest players that I know can't exactly interpret what this is saying. And if you can't interpret what it's saying, then that means it's probably pretty dang important. So that's kind of the way that I'm looking at this right now. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. And, just be sure that you guys are really reading these drones and what they're doing and, trying to figure out what stacks better with each other and different things like that, and just make sure that they're compatible. I mean, if you are mix and matching, but I've already given quite a few little strikes here on the mix match, the drones. And so what can we do with this now? Let's go back to Planet Wars here. And let me see here. Right here, Tech. This is a really good friend of mine, and this guy is unbelievably smart with this game. And when I have these tough questions, and he's, one of the players out of a few that I go, and they give me the answers that I need, and I'm gonna trust the most. And again, for me, guys, believe it or not, I have somewhat mentors to the game, and I just can't thank these guys enough for giving me the time of day. And so I have this questions, and I don't have all the questions, and so I just want to make sure that it's clear. But Tech's a really good friend. I told him I kind of wanted to see if I could use him as kind of a guinea pig on if we can see a difference on what's going on mix matching versus should we use the drones in threes. And again, there's a million ways we can do this, guys. I'm sure I'm gonna catch a little bit of slack because I didn't use this drone versus this drone, and I'm not going to worry too terribly much about that. Again, this is just kind of generalized, and if you want to go make your videos, send them to me, I'll watch them. But let's kind of see where we're at here with Tech here. And again, guys, it's always a good idea just to go through. One of the big things that I always like to look at is physical defense break, energy defense, and energy defense break. If they have higher points there, that generally means what? They have more pilots than you or better pilots. And you go down to the bottom here, going back to the tech setup. Your tech setup's going to reflect especially your damage reduction from aerial and damage against. Again, it's pretty plain and upfront there because when I was showing you guys, what is it? Player against player. So that's where that tech is reflecting right there. And some other tech that, not tech, but other things that reflect this is your gyms. And so if they have a way higher score than you, then that's probably telling you that they have better gyms, they have a better tech setup, and they have better pilots. And this is what I'm talking about here. Just because I have some really awesome drones doesn't mean that I'm going to beat these guys or tech, because he could have a way more important pilot that I missed that he's using, and that could be really the deal breaker there, guys. So I just want to emphasize again: do not discredit your pilots and your gyms, and go through and take a little bit of time and try to figure out why maybe a player's beating you here. So we'll take a look at him real quick, and let's go ahead and attack him with my burning drones, and let's see what happens here, guys. And so you can see Tech's recoils really working there towards the end. He has his shield stacked, and you could see all of the benefits of the stacking in the right top hand corner. And my only one that was showing was the shields, was a shield. So right there showing you guys. Now I'm going to throw you guys a little tip here. And here in a second, I'm going to throw you guys a little tip. And so right here, we can go through and we can do the comparison stats here. And so my left flank burning drone was rocking it pretty hard here. And so you can see right here the burning. But guys, look at what I told you. And I don't know if you guys heard me earlier. I put shields on what? My burning drones. And guess what? Look at this right here, guys. Look at my restore HP. So everybody's always is talking about the recoils and recoils on the stack shields, but look at what my burning drones gave me on the restore HP. That is unbelievable. And so if we go down, and so if we look at the restore HP from the recoils on his, I mean, I over doubled by using the burning drone and adding a shield. So I just want to make sure that that's clear too, guys, that the recoils are not the only ones giving you HP back. If you got that shield on and it's telling you if you have critical and you have an 8% chance of getting that back, and again, I had shields on a couple of my burning drones, so those stacked together, and that's why you were seeing that shield in mine. But what was a little disheartening is you didn't see anything else that I had stacking at all. The only thing that was stacking was the shield, and you saw everything else that he was using, and it was stacking, and it was showing what was coming after me. But here's the thing. So on his recoil, guess what that recoil is, guys? That recoil is my burning drones being thrown back at me. So those numbers added together is 100,000, over 100,000 in damage back to myself because of the recoil and me throwing burning drones at him. So I basically was killing myself with the burning drones. And so again, is that a strike on mix and matching? Maybe, even though I didn't mix and match. But right here, there's my burning drones, and what was hurting me was my burning drones coming back off of his recoil. So going back to the mix and match. So, but pretty interesting. But again, what a crazy stat by using the burning drone. And I showed you guys my shields on that one. I had 2 stacked on that one burning drone. And I think players are throwing that out, that, it's only recoil that does that. And that is not true. So right here is perfect example of that not being true. That's That's pretty awesome, actually. And so, but that was burning drones, guys. And so let's go here. So Apis here again. A lot of players are screaming Apis for the healing, Apis for the healing. So let's mix and match now. Now that we have a base of what's going on here, let's mix and match. But those burning drones did good, guys. They did. So I'm not discrediting using a burning drone in an electrical in Planet Wars and Star Scramble at all. So don't get me wrong, but I think the huge advantage obviously is the recoils, bouncing stuff back, and it's just kind of going through and just seeing what your setup is and what it's doing. So I'm just kind of trying to show you guys how you can maybe do this yourself here a little bit. So what can I do here? Let's see here. Let's get rid of Lyra here. I'm going to reset this. And let's go to Apis, because everybody says that that's the best healing. That's the best healing. And again, that's a little tough to say, guys. That's really a little tough to say. But I'm going to do kind of the general of what I saw a lot of players using as examples. And so, and then there's Fornax, the burning drone. I left that in there. And let me trade this out. And so, okay, now I have a mixed match pair. Let's see here, guys. Burning drone. Apis is here. And so I have a mixed match pair. And again, everybody keeps saying that Apis is the best for healing. And Fornax is the best burning drone. So we just saw what 3 burning drones was doing against tech. And so now let's see what is going to happen if I mix match these and do the same thing. And before I do that, guys, again, my gems, I took out a lot of my gems because I don't want to beat him necessarily at all. I kind of want to use this again as, can we see the levels rising, or is it going faster? Is it slower? And, again, this is pretty generalized, but I do have a lot of my gems out on purpose. I didn't want him to completely stomp me, so I left basically some of my aerial, including players. Again, going back to that, guys, what are we doing? We're going against players, so you'd want to stack your aerials, basically. But I just wanted to show you guys that just real quick when we're doing this testing also. But now I've got a mixed pair of drones here. And so is it going to be better than the 3 burning drones? Because, hey, again, everybody's saying Apis for healing. So should I be able to beat him now? Am I going to see a better increase, or what are we going to see here, guys? And so let's go ahead and attack him. So right here, guys, that's questionable. That's questionable. There was healing attributes going on, absolutely, with Apis. But let's check the battle record real quick here, guys. Okay. And so, without having missiles on mine gems, boy, they sure were rocking. And so my left flank, my right flank drone was a little low. And okay, so I'm just looking at this real quick, guys, with you. But look at the restore HP again. I mean, that is just out of control. So I don't know if Fornax is doing that. And now combined with the recoil, look at the HP restoration on that. That's pretty incredible. So mix and matching was pretty comparable to the 3 burning drones there. That really wasn't a bad little setup here. You know, I'm not gonna downplay it that much because look at the gain that I did get from the restore HP and on both of those. And so if we go down to tech and let's see what his drones were doing compared to mine. And so he almost had a 60,000 on the recoil there. Okay, so that's double what mine is. And actually, he got that twice. So again, he's in upwards of 100,000 damage with using my drones against me. But look at here, guys. Look at here. Look at his HP now. I mean, this is pretty crazy little stats here. This is really crazy. And again, I don't have the triple recoils. He does have the triple recoils. And so those are crazy stats there for the restore HP. Like, I'm pretty blown away by this, actually. And it wasn't too bad of a little setup there. I'm not going to say that that wasn't. But again, let's take this a little bit further here. And then you have the players that say, hey, you know, it's the double recoils. It's 1 burning drone. So let's take this a step further. And so I have Apis and then Fornax and then Sagittarius. Let's put in Pavo here. Let's take out Sagittarius here. Terius, excuse me, and I'm gonna reset this. And let's see what Pavo does here. We'll auto upgrade. Okay, so this is the drone that everybody says is not important. And I'm doing that one on purpose. We'll see if it really stacks to Apis and really gives it a boost here. And then everybody keeps screaming as far as the burning drone Fornax. So I'm going to leave that in there. And let's kind of see what happens here, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and attack them. And right there, I have a actual victory against him by using two recoils and a burning. So as of right now, it did look like mix and matching is giving me a little bit more power here, and so little questionable now. So, and I wish I kind of wouldn't have beat him. And is there some other players that we can get I should have looked at that battle record, but I was actually really surprised that we beat him with that. I wasn't really expecting, but again, now we added what? 2 recoils instead of the burning. And again, that recoil, they were rocking. and again, I have those stacked with shields, and then I have the shields on Fornax itself, and so I was getting some pretty serious stacks with the shields there, guys. And so, I think, the way you set those up also is going to be pretty important. And, you know, as far as what we can do, we can still maybe do this here, guys. I'm going to try to still do this. And so let's take out the burning drone here. And let's go ahead and put Gruss in. And again, Gruss is a pretty huge favorite of a lot of the players too. So there's so many ways that we can do this test here, guys, and combos and different stuff like that. But pretty surprised on the result with the 2 recoils and the burning. It obviously was stronger than the 3 burnings, but again, we're getting back into what? The recoils. So I am going to auto upgrade this. And let's go back in here. Let's take out the burning. And now I have my 3 recoils going here. And so let me see if we can find somebody that we can test this on. And I kind of feel bad for these players now. I don't want them to think I'm just attacking them for no reason, but for the sake of the game, we will use this player here. So let's take a look at him first, and we'll compare attributes. So he's actually doing pretty good with his pilots. I mean, you can tell right here, physical defense break. I might have one pilot more than him, another pilot above him. And so right here, kind of just showing you guys, but I have definitely a few more pilots in the energy. So, yep, definitely a bigger player than him without the drones here, guys. So, but look at his dodge rate, though. I mean, he's actually doing pretty dang good there. And but look right here, though, guys. Damage received from players reduction. He's at 35.85. So he could have some pretty stacked gems there that we're not seeing. And he might be a little bit tougher than we think. And going back to that, guys, yeah, don't underestimate anybody in this game. You guys need to take a look at and try to understand the pilots and the gems and what you're looking at against these other players. But let's go ahead and attack, and let's kind of see what happens here. But look at my stacks, guys. Look at that. All my stacks on that recoil. I mean, there was just no... I mean, it didn't even have a chance to even really do what it was supposed to do necessarily. Not what it was supposed to do, but those recoils, it just took what he had, slammed him on top of what I have. And look, my main gun, my missiles were just rocking. I mean, I don't even have missile gems on. So again, this is very surprising in a lot of ways. And so he just has his burning drones on. And so right there is the answer right there, guys. He has his burning drones, but there was not hardly any attribute to the burning drone versus you guys saw the stacks and all kinds of stuff working with my recoils. I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about, for me, should I use recoils or should I use the 2 recoils and the burning? That one could be, still maybe in a back pocket type of thing to go and test again. But for me right there, excuse me, guys, man, those recoils just were rocking. And, I would still lean, for me, the 3 recoils in Planet Wars and Star Scramble. Just just period. With the right stacking, the right shields, man, those things just work amazing. But again, I'm not going to discredit the mix and match that we saw with the one burning drone and the two. But I think all in all, power for power, working for working, seeing the stacks work. I mean, the recoils, for me, it's still kind of a no-brainer here, guys. But yeah, I wish I wouldn't have beat Tech. That was a little surprising. But again, we're starting to get into my recoils, adding the recoils. And there was the key, though, guys, adding the recoils. So say it again, adding the recoils. So when I had the two burning and even the burning, I wasn't even able to beat him. So once I started adding the recoils, boy, they're just rocking. Again, I don't want this team to think I'm picking on them, but for the sake of the game, I'll try to take... Well, there's Flame up here. I'm going to view Flame. And I'm going to do this every time, guys. I'm going to go and take a look. Why not? And just see where these guys are at. And, you know, for where he's at, he looks like he's doing pretty good. I definitely have more energy pilots. You can just tell right there. And again, I'm just saying this out loud, just showing you guys what I'm looking at and how I can better myself. Do I have something that's better than him? But look at his dodge rate, 51%. And that's pretty dang good. Good for him. Damage against aerial enemies, he's at 62. Again, I don't have all my gems in. I don't have all my other stuff. And maybe that's what I'll do just real quick, guys. And so I'm going to pump this up a little bit. So there's my main gun. And there's my main gun here. And again, I don't even have all of my aerial in there. And so that stat's going to change down there against aerial. Okay, so I have my technology set pretty good, guys. I've got all three of my recoils in there now. I pumped up basically my gems. I mean, we are rocking here. So let's go back. Planet Wars here. And so there he is. I'm going to go and view him again real quick. Compare attributes. And so right there, now you can see, now that I put that aerial in, we're 90 to 90.25. And so damage against aerial enemies. Again, he might have a pilot that I don't. He could have a really rocking gym set up. And he's got a dodge rate of 51. But right here, what he's lacking is damaged received reduction. So he doesn't have one of those gyms in there, and I do. So, you know, look through these guys. See the comparisons. Try to figure out what the heck that they have. Do they have the better pilots and gyms? And again, don't just rely on this drone thing. But just for the sake of the game, actually, I got another move back also. Yeah, this guy's going to think I'm just bullying him. But right there, you can see what his stacks were versus mine. So I was getting a pretty good HP recovery already. Look at my right drone there. Man, that thing was rocking right there. and I didn't get a lot of recoil back, him throwing at me. Let's see. Let's see what his drones were doing. So he's got an electrical drone, and then he has a recoil, and then he has another electrical, and that wasn't really good combination for him to me because I am using a Conquer, and so that might not be the best drone setup for him on Planet Wars. Maybe that's the only drones that he has. But right here again, look at his restore HP though. He was rocking it. You could see that his drones were stacking, and you could see it while I was attacking him. And that's pretty damn good. I mean, that's over 200,000 restored HP. I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool. And again, he's using two electrical, and then he's got his uh, recoil in the middle that was stacking those shields there. But he probably has a couple shields stacked onto his electricals also, guys. But again, it's not just the recoils that are stacking those shields. So, I've heard a lot of players saying the only ones that are really showing effectiveness are the recoils. And right there, that's not true. Again, we are seeing it effective on, using the other drones. But you can see, let's look at it one more time. If he would have just had some more recoils, I mean, that one right flank, if he would have had a recoil, that would have doubled for him. So mixing and matching, you can see his mix and matching, and it wasn't really that successful, guys. So I'm still really torn on the fence about, the mix matching. I think there's way more negatives to the mix matching, especially if you're playing outside of Planet Wars and Star Scramble. So I'm still personally, I'm going to be the three drone same suit guy. There, I said it. It is what it is. I said it. And I have one more move. These guys are going to think I'm just bullying them here. So let's go ahead and just attack him. But look at my stacks over here, guys. Look at my recoil. Look at the stacks on that. But he did get, so what is he running? He's running a burning. He's running all burnings. And that burning drones, look at the restore HP off of his burning drones by stacking his shields. So again, kind of an important video showing everybody that it doesn't have to be a recoil to get your health benefits. So, that's pretty important. So let's see. Yeah, so his Fornox is probably his most powerful. He's probably put a little bit more into that one because that's what everybody just keeps talking about and over. You need this, you need that one. We don't believe in the other ones. Like I said, there's a lot of testing that can still be done with this, guys. But yeah, main gun was rocking it on my side. Yeah, those recoils, by far, were rocking it more than just my burning drones. Just period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts on that. Recoil, I was shooting back 50,000 of his points back at him, and then restore HP. So again, I just me, guys, again, I'm gonna say it out loud. I at my level with what I have, I would stay, recoils for me in Planet Wars and Star Scramble, and burning drones outside Titan Legion boss. I personally wouldn't mix and match. I'd still be a little interested on doing the two recoils and the burning, that seemed to be pretty effective with the test here. I think there could be a little bit more investigating onto that one, but again, what was it? Two recoils. It wasn't one recoil. It was two recoils and then a burning. But for me, seeing those three recoils do what they just did, I mean, for me, it's just a no-brainer. I'll stay with the pack of threes personally, get those added benefits, and that's the way I would do this, just for my level at this point. There still needs to be a lot of testing with this. This has been a lot of fun. I do really appreciate all of you guys. I do really appreciate all the comments again. I sometimes have more fun just making the videos than playing the games at times. And, again, if you guys are making videos, have questions, if you have comments, if you have something added to this that maybe I'm missing, again, it's hard to fit 1 million things into a video. Using different drones here and there, the combinations again. We can make other ones down the road, or again, if you guys make a video, please send it to me. I'd be really interested in your guys' results. But again, last but least, just for me, I think I would stay at my level again with the combinations of threes. I think I'm losing a little bit of a benefit by mix and matching those drones. But again, guys, I really do appreciate all of the support. And last but least, as I always say at the end of these, guys, just have fun.